your stereo. Don't compare us to anything, this a different scenario. We break records while we pushing the culture forward. Great music and big vibes right in that order. Intellectually petty radio on the stereo. Don't compare us to anything, this a different scenario. We break records while we pushing the culture forward. Great music and big vibes right in that order.
And you are now tuned into another episode of Intellectually Petty Radio, brought to you by M3S3 Clothing, Men Make Moves and Suckers Stand Still, and as always on the mighty Nerve DJs Radio Network. Y'all already know, man, we only rock with legends over here week after week, month after month, year after year, and today is abso-fucking-lutely no exception. We have the founder and owner of the Michigan Sneaker Exchange, Mr. Jake Schreier, in the building. How you doing, fam?
Good. How about you, man? Thank you for having me.
Oh, no doubt, man. How's your family?
It's been awesome. Been good.
All right, so is that your personal collection behind you?
Yes, it's some of it. There's more that go down. There's more on the other side. There's pairs a little everywhere right now.
What's the crown jewel?
They're actually gonna be behind the screen, but I got a few pairs of the Louis Vuitton Air Force Ones and then the Jordan 1 Dior Lows. I'd say another kind of one of my favorite pairs. This isn't gonna be like crown jewel, but when I got into shoes like sixth grade, I remember always going online and I saw these. They're called the Nike SB Oceanic Airlines. So it was a pair that one of those pairs that kind of got me into shoes that I never owned and randomly came across them on eBay a year or two ago. I'll likely never lace them up and wear them, even though they have been worn before. But just one of those pairs I felt like had to be in my collection after kind of that's what got me into shoes. I remember seeing them so much in the early like 2010 to a 2011 era.
First pair of shoes you slept with?
Hasn't been one yet.
Are you serious? You haven't got a pair and been like, especially like before the first day of school? Oh,
we'll put them in the glass cases and keep them fresh that way.
Oh my God. First pair of shoes you couldn't get?
A lot of them, honestly. Just about every shoe. So a lot of people in the shoe world feel like they're deserving of something when it comes out for retail. And at the end of the day, I've resold sneakers for over a decade. As much as I collect them, I resell them to be able to afford more for my collection. So I always look at it like I'm not going to get them for retail and I have to pay resale. And that way, if I hit them for retail, it's like Christmas, but otherwise I'm just ready to pay that price because it's just impossible to get stuff now. Everyone's going for everything.
When did you start actually making money doing this?
I'd say probably around 2024. I'd say 2012, I want to say. I got into it about 12 years ago, and I was always trying to buy more pairs. And finally, I realized, like, okay, I got $500 worth of shoes, but how am I going to get past this? I can sit and trade them and do all this and slowly get more and more. But it's really when I think I bought a pair for like $200, sold them for $250, and was like, okay, there's money in this. And I can do this 5 times and then go buy another shoe that I wanted for myself.
Yo, what's the biggest, when you see other people wearing really nice gym shoes or sneakers, whatever you call them,
Yep.
fucking them up? Like, what is your biggest pet peeve that people do?
So I'd say, you might hate me for this, but the sole protectors on the bottom, I get it. I'm not mad at it. These shoes are expensive and people wear them. They want to keep them crispy. But what I realize is if you're wearing a shoe and you're intentionally trying to keep it crispy, you're going to fuck it up. Versus if you just wear it and don't care, it's going to stay perfect. And that's just how it goes. So people will put those sole protectors on the bottom and use a heat gun to apply them so the bottoms don't get dirty. At the end of the day, you can only do so much to save the shoe. Like trying to wear a shoe and not get the bottoms dirty is it just kind of backwards and pointless. The other thing I can't stand, which I know a lot of people will agree with, is when they buy shoes from StockX and they leave the StockX tag on, or like if you buy a Jordan and it's got the lace bag attached, you're wearing it with the laces, like you're supposed to take that stuff off. Like if you're wearing it with the StockX tag attached, you're just giving them free advertisement. They don't need that. They're a $1 billion company. So that's always my thing is like, just cut all the extra stuff off. Enjoy the shoes, wear them how they're supposed to be.
Yo, I don't know, maybe a month ago, a couple weeks ago. Yeah, about a month ago. I wanted to get some of those. What are those? The twos, the 218.
Yeah, yep, the Air Jordan Low 218s.
And so I reached out to Roast Bit because he's been on the show before, and he's like, "Dude, we don't have any more. You're gonna have to check StockX." I didn't even know what the fuck StockX was, to be quite honest. As you can tell, I'm old. You just went mute. I'm not sure what happened.
Do you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Somebody must
Okay.
have called you.
Oh, I just got a text. That might have been why.
Yeah, it'll do that to you. And I'm like, oh my god, but I was nervous. I'm thinking I'm about to get screwed, but I figured if he said go to StockX, it must be something. Man, that was some tense shit. Like,
Well, and it's one of those things where I tell everybody, do your due diligence. Like, don't trust these people just because they say it's real. Yeah, they're gonna legit check it, make sure it meets the standards. But it's me. If that's like me or you legit checking it, we could legit check 10,000 shoes, and we might mess up on one. So at the end of the day, no matter where you're buying, if it's a third party, always double check it to make sure you're getting what you're supposed to.
how do you double check it though? How do I know they're official?
Usually, so you can always come to our events, which we'll get into, but beyond that, doing a little research online, you can always Google, like, say you buy an off-white Jordan 1, which is a super sought after shoe, but also a super fake shoe because it's so sought after. Go online, real versus fake comparison. You really got to look at the details, and it's the slightest things that are going to change it. Like this one, the stitching might be a little more apparent. This one, the swoosh might be defined a little more. It's very slight differences because a lot of the time now, the factories that are making the real shoes are then letting other people lease that factory. And what do those people come in and do? They're overseas. They're making the same exact shoe by the same people, but Nike didn't authorize them.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Although Wu-Tang loves the children. Like,
Yep.
Yo, okay, so when was the first event you threw?
So the first one was, I believe it was May of 2013. So we're at about the 11 and a half year mark of the events. We threw our 10-year anniversary event last year. And the first event was at Modern Skate Park in Royal Oak.
How many people came out? You remember?
So I think we had 40 to 50 vendors and about 150 people. At that time, we were just so excited. The room filled up. People were having a great time because everything was done virtually before then. Like on Facebook groups is where we would all sell. We would figure out a meeting spot, which for me was always like Birmingham at the skate shops or the shoe stores there, and go from there. So we kind of just created that safe transaction zone. And not only can you do safe transactions, but the items are already there. So you can shop around, buy, sell, trade as you please, network with people, make friends. And I mean, even to this day, we got people that don't even come out to buy or sell anything or trade anything. They just know that people they've known for 10 plus years through shoes are there. They come link up. It's almost like a community type event.
Is there is it just Michigan that you do events, or have you branched out?
So this will be the kind of first time we speak on it publicly, but right now it's just Michigan. We are branching out to a new city next month, which I won't touch on too much because we're going to announce that at our July 20th event coming up. But there are plans to expand outside of Michigan coming soon. We've kind of created the perfect formula for events where there are names in this country that are bigger than us going to all the cities doing events. And at the end of the day, I kind of told my team, I said, let's sway away when we go national from trying to compete with them. We offer such an interesting kind of perspective on the event where all these guys are trying to build this experience for certain aspects of the event. And for us, we've always tried to make our sponsors and our vendors happy, because if you do that, it trickles down to all the other people. If the vendor is sitting there smiling, greeting everybody, it's going to make the people happy. So that we've kind of created a formula that works perfect for us and our state, and just kind of for example, we have 150 vendors. We only let 35 of them be clothing vendors because we don't want 75 clothing vendors at a sneaker event and then no one's making sales. So we've created this perfect formula for the event, and we think it's much different than anybody else doing it. And we have no interest in competing with any big names, anything. We just want to bring our experience to these other cities and let other cities experience what we put on here, because people here love it.
Damn, that's kind of dope. Okay, so walk me through what can I expect when I come into an event?
So we've obviously gone far. We used to do Modern Skate Park. We then went to Ultimate Soccer Arenas, which I think is UWM ended up buying them in Pontiac. So we did it on a big soccer field, and now United Wholesale Mortgage now owns that arena. So about 6-7 years ago, we went to Cobo Center, which is now Huntington Place. And initially, we never wanted to bring it downtown Detroit. Obviously, Detroit has expanded so much in the past few years, it kind of became where we didn't want to do it, and it became we had to because this was just the hub, and the way the event grew, we needed the space. So when you walk in, you're going to walk into 40,000 square feet of over 150 vendors, people buying, selling, trading, sneakers, streetwear, vintage clothing, local clothing brands. We've got special guests that pull up every time. Babyface Ray was at the last one. We'll have Payroll Giovanni and another guest next weekend.
That's so fucking dope right there.
Just a little of everything. And the thing we like to do with like the rappers and celebrities when they come out is we get some content, we interview them. Of course, we need the content for Instagram, but the goal is just to make it a very friendly, community-based environment. Like Babyface Ray was scheduled to be there for 30 minutes. He was there 2.5 hours. He stayed around. He went to every table. He shopped with people, took pictures, communicated. Like all the content after the fact, if you watch it, he looks good in all of it. So it's one of those things where we're like, hey, like we want you at this event, but the reason we had Face come out was he had pulled up previously just to come shop. So one of the guys that we're going to announce next week that'll be at the July 20th event, he's already been to multiple events just to shop.
Oh, now we're like, you can't tell me?
It'll be all right. So I'll announce it here. We're gonna announce on Instagram next week. So Payroll Giovanni, we just announced he'll be there. Baby Money will also be there as well. We just locked him in today. So we'll have both them coming out different times. That way, whether you come at 1 p.m., you might meet Payroll. If you come later to 5, you might meet Baby Money. So it'll be awesome. They'll be doing some shopping. We'll get some content with them, and just we like to get some content. Just kind of see like the Detroit scene. What are you guys rocking with? What are you not like? Based on what's popular in the country, what's kind of popular in this city?
Okay, I am born and raised in Detroit, an old head to the core. Top tens can do no wrong.
Yep.
What are I need some top tens that nobody else has.
So that's a rarer pair. It's one of those pairs that it's kind of like if you know, you know. So when they're at the event, it's usually an OG collector, somebody that'll be bringing those out. But they're there every now and then. It's tough to find some of those rare pairs. They just don't show up as much in the sneaker community because right now what's hot in the sneaker community is all you'll see sometimes. So at our event, you'll get to see a little bit of everything, which is why it's so much better than shopping online on a StockX or a Goat app. But with shoes like that, they're there. You just really got to look for them. It's like size 15 shoes. We always got people with them at the event. But sometimes you just really got to hunt them down in there because they're just harder to find.
Okay, so I'm a vendor. I want to come to your event. How does that work out? Just give you a flat fee and go for it, or do I have to how do you quality control the vendors that you have?
So basically, if you want to be a vendor, the process has changed over the years. A lot of events just let you sign up and buy a table on their site. We stopped doing that because we realized other events. We never really had the issue, but other events would you'd show up and there's 52 clothing brands and 18 shoe vendors.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, this is a shoe event. This is false advertised, whatever. So we limit it by, you have to basically submit a vendor form on our website and we'll review your form. You'll put your Instagram, everything. We'll check it out. A lot of people have vended in the past for the new vendors. We just kind of check their page, make sure we got mutual followers. They have some references or just kind of see what they're posting so we can gauge it. Mm-hmm. And once we accept them, we'll send them payment info. You'll pay $200. You get an 8x3 foot table. Of course, if you want to bring clothing racks, you can do that as well. And you just set up your items and buy, sell, trade as you please throughout the day with everyone that comes through.
Okay, I'm a rich dude sitting at home and I want a particular pair of shoes. I call you up. What do you charge me to get those shoes outside of the price? Or can you tell me?
So it all depends on what the shoe is, and it all depends too. Like if you want a Travis Scott Jordan, it might cost me $1,500 to get it. I don't like to tax people. I mean, I can charge you $2,000, make a quick $500, but for me, I like the long-term business. I see, especially with a lot of people I deal with, is they might be a big company owner or one of our sponsors we've worked with, and there's long-term business that I see. So I might just charge my 10-15% on top. Might charge them $1,700, and on top of that. The only reason I even upcharge is because I got to front $1,500 out of my pocket, deliver you the shoe. So I got to make something for my time and my money up front. But a lot of people will buy it for $1,500 and go sell it for $2,000 in their store. Sometimes if you have a storefront, you kind of have the ability to charge more because it's like, where else can people go in the city to get that shoe right now, right then? Man. You're going to pay that premium to get it then and there. So people will say, I can get it on StockX for $100 cheaper. You have to wait 2 to 3 weeks minimum. your order might get canceled. It might not pass their verification, whatever it is. If you want it then and there, you're going to pay a little premium. And that's why our event is interesting is one, you can negotiate, and two, the guy might want 1,700 for this pair, and then the guy across the room has the same pair, but he only wants 1,650.
Oh, I'll be upset, man. I'm not gonna lie. If I'm the vendor, like, man, for $50, although I get it as a consumer, yeah, I want to.
It's an open market.
Yeah. Best Jordan for you.
Model or
Both.
damn, that's a tough one. So I got into Nike SBs originally. Never been the biggest Jordan guy, but I like Jordan 4s. They're not always the most comfortable to wear, but I'd say the one I wear the most is the Union collab. It's the, I think it's called the Nora colorway. It's like black, kind of has blue, red, yellow. So it kind of goes with everything. I'll wear it with all black, throw some color in the outfit. And it just goes with everything.
Yo, that's what's killing me. Actually, I had never bought Jordans up until I bought the 218s. And then I bought the 218s and some green 5s.
Okay.
So I still got them in the box. And I'm trying to like the green and orange ones, which look like kind of like suede-ish.
Yeah, yep. Semi recently.
Man, I'm trying to put together a little outfit for that, and that shit is not easy.
It's not, because the fashion has changed so much with the shoes too. Where, like, I mean, you remember 10, 15 years ago, and back then it was just match the exact colors with your t-shirt. It doesn't matter what shorts, anything you're wearing. Now people are like, all these brands are coming out with crazy clothes, shorts, pants, hoodies, tees. So what I always tell people is just wear whatever you like. It can match perfectly. People wear stuff that doesn't match at all and it goes. That's just kind of what's in fashion right now. I mean, I've seen some personally absurd outfits I would never wear, but people love it in fashion right now.
I'm too old for that shit. Like, I need my shit to coordinate.
Yeah, like I'll see people wearing a shirt that's 2 sizes too small for them with a pair of jeans that's 3 sizes too big. And for me, I haven't been in that part of side of fashion, but it's what's in right now. It's what's hot. It's what the rappers are wearing. It's what celebrities are wearing. That's what everybody wants. And that's just how the trends go at the end of the day. They're changing so quick.
Outside looking in, who's the biggest sneakerhead you know that's not you?
Damn, that's a tough one. There's a lot of vendors I can name at the event that really live and breathe this. Does it have to be someone I know, or can it be someone I know of? Because some of these celebrities, I'd say Wale is one of the most slept on, like, sneakerhead celebrities. He's one of those people that, I mean, when I was getting into it 10 plus years ago, he was just a legend, always having crazy heat in his collection, going on interviews, talking about it. So I'd say he's someone that a lot of people know his name, but don't know how deep rooted he is in shoes and how much love he has for the game too. Because a lot of celebrities now are just buying it because it's what's cool, it's what's hot. They got the money to blow to go buy all the hottest pairs. But Wale really has like love for the game and really knows about it too.
Favorite old school shoes?
Old school shoes. That's a tough one. I'll say, if they're considered it, Air Force Ones. Only because when I got into like Nike SBs and over the years, I was never on the Air Force wave. Never understood why people like them. Nothing.
Those shits is the most uncomfortable shoes fucking ever. It's like walking on cardboard boxes.
So like 2019, everybody, especially during the pandemic, when I used to be part of a store and we were selling so many pairs of the white Air Force Ones, especially during the pandemic. I put a pair on and I'm like, okay, I've worn so many of these model shoes. Some of them just suck. They're just so uncomfortable. The Forces weren't much worse than a lot of them, so I can put up with them, especially when you break them in. But I started kind of diving into it and just realized there's so many cool collaborations and colorways in the Air Forces that are slept on, and I just became a huge fan. I probably have 30 plus pairs of Air Forces now.
Are you serious? Man, I got a pair of Air Forces. They're like burgundy, and I can't remember the other color because I've only worn them once, and it was so horribly. Only other shoe I've worn that was more uncomfortable actually walking was Converse Chucks.
So I can't do Converse at all. Highs or lows, can't do it. I don't understand how people do. They don't even stay on my feet, and they just don't look good when you look down. With the Air Forces, I realize when you break them in, they get more comfortable. And the other thing is, any shoe with a leather sock liner, like when that interior is leather, I don't know why they do that. It's not comfortable. It doesn't break in. It doesn't form your foot, and it just your foot's slipping out of it. It doesn't stay on your feet. It just never been for me. So any shoe like that has always been a problem for me, unless it's more like a low top running shoe where you can tie it a little tighter and it stays on your foot and it really starts to form to your foot.
Take Jordan out the equation. What athlete has the most popular line?
I'd say when I got into it 10 plus years ago,
Uh,
LeBron's and LeBron sample shoes that like didn't release were the hottest thing. And Nike
really?
basketball in general, the KDs too. It's changed so much now because you can't wear basketball shoes with today's fashion. We used to wear them off like I remember being in middle school wearing off like a pair of $500 LeBrons off a pair of cargo shorts, or in high school, and now it's like
Wait. Hold
it
on, hold on,
doesn't
hold
match
on.
fashion like
You were
that.
making 500. I mean, you were wearing $500 shoes in middle school.
I meant to say high school, but that's kind of where I would buy pairs for my collection just off reselling other pairs and stacking up and being able to get like that grail shoe I wanted, which I remember one of them was the Miami Night Low LeBron 8, which is one of my favorite pairs. They actually re-released it last year. They're re-releasing all the pairs that I got into shoes. They were going for $1,000 plus. They're re-releasing them all, and they're not even selling out at $200. So back then, I'd say LeBron, but today it's kind of tough. Jordan kind of has everything by the reins, and then we've got like New Balance and Asics are coming back like crazy right now.
Oh, the one pair. I don't know which Iversons those are, but he's got one pair, and I should know because I got like three pair of them. He's got one.
I should know too.
Yeah, are those the one? Man, I don't know. But yo, like that's probably one of the most comfortable shoes I've ever worn.
And I don't think had a pair of Iversons. Those never really. I never was a huge high top person, but the LeBrons, the one thing I remember is most comfortable shoes on earth. I mean, no wonder people play basketball in them. Those and the Kobe's were just so comfortable, and you put them on your feet, you didn't want to take them off, which is kind of weird how fashion swayed so much away from like what's comfortable to just like what's cool. I mean, some of the shoes people are wearing, for example, the Rick Owens shoes are super popular. To me, I look at them, they're like they're almost twice as tall as the Air Jordan 1. So they're going up way above your ankle. Those aren't comfortable to wear all day, but that's what's hot. That's what people wear.
I mean, like you got people wearing Balenciagas, and those. I'm not even going to
Oh
attempt
yeah,
to buy those, but those can't be comfortable.
like 5-10 pounds a shoe.
But
Some of those pairs you pick up, they're heavy, and yeah, like you said, they're just not comfortable. They're not built for comfort. They're built for style.
I'm curious, how come you never went into like design?
So with designer, it's tough. I compare it to like if you go buy a pair of headphones or a laptop out of Best Buy. Right when you take it out, it's automatically worth 30% less than what you just paid for it on the secondary market. So that's the same with designer. For example, you go buy perfect example. I have a pair of the Louis Vuitton trainer shoes that have been worn 3 times sitting at my storage right now. They retailed for probably $1,400 after tax, I think it was. I'm selling them for $425. No one's bought them yet. Of course, they haven't been marketed to all the right people, but with designer, it's only worth that full retail for the most part. There are some that hold their value. For the most part, it's only worth that full retail when it's in the store, and the second you walk it out to sell it on the secondary market. I mean, you or me aren't going to go buy a pair of random Louis Vuitton shoes off Facebook Marketplace. We don't know if they're real or not. We're going to go to the store and pay the premium.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing with designer. It just goes for so much less. And what I've realized too with a lot of stores and everything is when you're lowballing people too much on their product, they get offended. And I never want to be that person, even though I can only sell this Louis Vuitton trainer for $400, I don't want to go offer this guy $250 if he paid $1,400 for him. It gets insulting. So I'm usually the guy who'll be like, hey, I just won't buy this, but put it on eBay. You'll get a little more than maybe the $350 you were asking me for.
Most you've sold a shoe for.
Sold a pair of the Louis Vuitton Air Forces. So with a lot of shoes too, the sizing matters. For example, I'm a smaller size. I'm 7.5 to 8. So Louis Vuitton Air Forces retail around 3,000 after tax in my size. So I can get them. So my pairs go for 3,000 to 4,000 in my size because they're less demanded. I think I sold a size 10 in either the white or green pair a couple months ago for $7,000. And then if you go up to like a size 12, they're $10,000 plus.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Yeah, and then I think the other one was Nike Air Mags. This was back in the day. They go for like 15,000 now, but I think I sold a couple pairs for like 5,000 each.
Wait a minute, which Nike Air Max?
The original, not the auto lacing pair, but the original one, like from the Back to the Future movie.
The only ones Damn, I don't remember the Air Max from the Back to the Future. I remember the Back to the Future, whatever the fuck they called them.
Yeah, the high, like the super high top with the auto lacing and everything. Those ones, the Air Max. Yep.
Oh, okay. I didn't know those were Air Maxes.
They're Air Mags, Mags, not
Okay,
Max.
okay.
Yep.
I'm thinking Air Max, like with the X.
Oh no, but trust me, there's some crazy Air Maxes too. Those are one of my favorite shoes. I think actually.
What
I have a
year?
pair here. Did I sell them?
No, I said what year of your favorite Air Maxes?
Honestly, these are one of my favorites. I just grabbed. I wear these a ton. These are
Those
the
are-
Para
those are fire.
collabs. So instead of doing the regular cut, they did like the wavy cut, which is their signature.
That's
And
crazy.
then of course, I like the small embroidered swoosh right there too. So that's always a good one.
Wait a minute, who
But-
did that one? Who did that collab?
That's a collab with Para. I think it's a store overseas, I do believe.
Okay.
And they've done a bunch of collabs with them over the years. Honestly, there's not a bad era of Air Maxes, if you ask me. Every year they come with great original colorways and great collaborations, like every single year. I've slowly bought Air Maxes. I don't buy too many, but every now and then there's a pair that I can't pass up on.
I want to say it's 95 is probably the best year for me.
Yeah, those are super popular too.
So
I
walk
think
me
I had
through
the
what you got
Jordan
over
back
there too.
collaboration.
Walk
What
me-
other shoes?
Yeah, what you got over there? Especially the green, black, and yellow ones. Yeah, those.
I'm gonna say I'll show these off
Oh,
because you were shouting out Row. So these are a shout out to Row too. This is one of my favorite Burn Rubber collabs they did. This is the Verner's pair. So I don't know if you could see. They kind of got like the Verner's details on there. They got the
Yo,
Burn Rubber lace lock.
That's
and-
cold right there.
This was just an iconic one because, I mean, everybody in Detroit knows about Verner's. Everyone in Michigan knows about Verner's, the Detroit thing.
Yes.
It's kind of hard to see, but they got like crazy little imprinted detail on here.
Wait a minute, is that
Kind of
Ro-
the
so
speckled
that's
mid-tone.
Roll too, right?
Yep. And then I'm gonna show you
How
another
much?
one of his.
How much for those?
It's one of those things that they don't come up as much anymore. When they released them years ago, Burn Rubber had pairs for a while because they obviously get the most stock because it's their shoe.
Mhm.
But you really just don't see them anymore. They go for around $100-$200 if you find them. It's one of those if you know sneakers. Like the 218s are a legendary shoe, but to Detroit it's so much more iconic because it's
Yep.
that first store in Detroit to get a Jordan's collab.
That one, if you come across some 8.5s, call me.
What in the Verner's?
Yes.
I'll get your info after this. I'll definitely be able to find you one.
Yes.
And
Those is fucking
I just
cold.
pulled these out of my basement. I actually couldn't find these for years, but this was when I kind of met Roe and Jay John and all the guys at Burn Rubber 6-7 years ago at least now. This was one of the pairs they had just collaborated with Reebok on, which was the Boblo boats that were modeled after the Boblo boat. And you see like they got the Burn Rubber lace locks. They came with like 6
Yo.
different color laces, and then kind of hard to see too. You got the Burn Rubber on the insole too. But these were one of my favorite pairs. I found them in the basement the other day, and I was so glad I did because you got the Burn Rubber on the back too. This was just a sweet pair. They're crazy comfortable, and it's one of those pairs that's just iconic. I mean, Burn Rubber is the only store here that's getting collabs like this besides Premier, which is a skate shop up in Grand Rapids, and they're killing it too. But Burn Rubber's done a lot of slept-on collabs on a lot of models that I would never buy otherwise, but they just do them right, and it's one of those must-haves for the collection.
Yeah, I had no clue, and I interviewed the man.
Yeah, they've done so many collabs over the years. I would be surprised if he remembers all of them, but they did a pair of Miggy New Balances years ago with Miguel Cabrera. I mean, they've done a lot. I probably have a few more pairs somewhere in here, but I'll get one of the crazy pairs to show you what we're on too. I know everybody's gonna want to see these. This was an iconic one. So this is the Dior Air Jordan Low. I'm not a big fan of the high tops. Can't pull them off too well, but if you've held these in person, people always go, "Oh, these cost so much." One, you can wear them and I'll get my money back on them too. But two, when you hold them in person, you really see like it's a heavier shoe. It weighs 3 times as much as a Jordan 1. I mean, the quality is literally Dior quality. It's got it all embossed on the tongue. Even the laces have it. I mean, the insole, like they really went crazy with these.
Okay, how much for those?
So I didn't pay anywhere near it. I had actually bought a pair of shoes for the pair called the Nike SB What the Dunks, which is one of my favorite shoes growing up. I actually just got a new pair,
Mhm.
but I bought them for $1,200 because they were shooting up in price. So I said, okay, let me buy this pair. It's worn. It's $1,200, but I might never own them again if I don't buy it. They ended up going up to $4,000 or $5,000, and one of my buddies had these. I never wore the What the Dunks because it's the What the Dunk is a collaboration of like 50 of the best Nike SBs. So the both shoes are different. I wish I had a pair to show you. They're crazy. So it's hard to pull off. I never wore them. I've owned 30 pairs over a 10-year span. Never wore them once. And I wanted to wear these to one of our Michigan Sneaker Exchange events. My buddy had them. So he gave me these and $500. I probably have $700 into these, and I could probably get $3,500 for them right now. Worn, without the box, everything.
Without the box?
Yep. And the box affects the value, too.
I was getting ready to ask you that. Like, how much, though?
The box and accessories with these, I could probably get $4,000, $4,250 for them. So it all depends. Some shoes, like if you got a cheaper shoe, like, I don't know, a random pair of Jordans, people don't care. But if it's a sought after shoe, like a Travis Scott Jordan 1, like this is the newest Travis Scott that just came out. If you're missing the box on these, people automatically are going to knock off $50 to $100 minimum because they might be flipping them to somebody else who wants the box. Or in general, just be harder as a reseller or resale store to sell something without the box because some people just assume it's fake. It doesn't have the box when in reality, whoever had these before me, he probably just had enough money where he didn't care and threw all the stuff away, which is also very common.
Yo, okay, so my granddaughter's my oldest granddaughter. Me and her, like, we love gym shoes. It's like our thing. It's we sit and talk on, I'm thinking I want to buy her some gym shoes. Now, I'm not about to spend $1,200 on a pair of shoes, but what's a really good shoe for a girl I can buy maybe $400-$500?
I'd say if she likes yellow, this is the hot one. The Travis Scott Jordan 1 lows are the hottest shoes I've
Those are just
never sold
me.
so many. This colorway is hit or miss. I'll show you some of the other colors I got behind me, but it's hit or miss. I think it was his high school colors is why he did it. Some of the girls love them. I swapped the laces out with the fatter laces. They look a little better like that.
Dope, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't worn this one yet. It's tougher to pull off, but it's one of those shoes where some of the smaller women's sizes are even some of the men. They're all going under 500 right now. I mean, 6 months, a year from now, they're gonna double or triple that.
Sorry.
Oh, no worries. But yeah, it's one of those things. The Travis Scott is a safe investment. Like if you're sitting on $20,000, I tell you just go buy every Travis Scott Jordan shoe brand new that just released because in a year they're gonna double. It's beyond Travis being popular. It's the model. So it's he took the Jordan 1, he flipped the swoosh, which no one's really ever done. He's got the little detail there, and the Jordan 1 low is just so wearable with everything. I mean, I go anywhere and I see someone wearing a Travis Scott Jordan. And the other thing is they're so popular, they're very often faked. So a lot of pairs you will see people wearing out and about. Those people don't know, but there's a lot of fake pairs out there. So, I mean, some of the other colorways I'll grab behind me, the fragments, the OG pairs, I sell them for, I got at least one customer asking a week, and they're paying at least $2,000 for them because the longer it goes from the release date, the more people are wearing them, the less brand new pairs there are. Every store in the country is trying to buy them up to support their customers' needs for them. So they just kind of disappear at the end of the day. But for example, this is the OG Mocha colorway. He did this was his first low top pair. So these ones are shooting.
Those are a lot better.
Yeah, these are, and you can swap the laces out too. I got the pink laces in here, but these are going around $2,000 to $2,500.
Shit.
This is the fragment colorway. I have the high top fragments somewhere in here. I don't know where, but these ones
definitely rock that with some Orlando Magic.
This is the most popular pair, and this is the only all leather pair he did. So I always tell people these are going for $2,000. It's expensive, but one, they hold their value after the fact. If you wear them, they're still worth at least $1,400, $1,500. And two, you can wear them through the mud. They're leather. You just wipe them right off, and they're brand new again. So that pair's been super popular. And then this recently came out a couple months ago, but this is Travis's signature model. So this is the model he created with Jordan Brand.
Oh, that's the Bo Jackson's
been
basically.
Done before. Yeah, very similar. It honestly took inspiration, in my opinion, from the Air Yeezy 2, kind of how he has the strap at the beginning. But they're very comfortable, very lightweight. I mean, he did the colorway just like I'll show you his other low top pair he did. So this is called the reverse mocha, which is the reverse of the original pair I showed you.
Those are better than the other mochas. And the only
Yep.
thing I don't like about the bottom is the rubber. It comes up a little too high for my taste.
On these ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what he did too is he wrote cactus on one shoe, Jack on the other, but they kind of cheaped out. So it comes with a sticker in the box and it says as you wear them, like all this print's gonna go away. So you see it's already going away after one wear.
Wow.
So once I wear it 2-3 more times, it's not even gonna say Jack on it.
And that definitely affects the value, I'm assuming.
Just because I'd say because they're worn, it'll affect the value, but people won't necessarily care as much since the Jack is on the bottom and it's created to basically come off. Versus, for example, like the Nike Air Yeezy 2s right now, people are selling pairs of those because they're like 10 years old. Some of the strap on the toe box that has a strap just like that is breaking off and stuff. That's what kills the value, because then you got to go find a person that knows how to restore them and replace it and just basically fix the whole shoe up. So with something like that, it's not the worst flaw. That's what people expect when it's worn. They're going to want to pay the price for a worn pair, obviously. But I mean, the price between worn and brand new can be significant too. I've got a pair of the blue and white Travis Scott low tops right now, worn twice. I'm trying to sell for $1,400-1,500, and then I've got a brand new pair in the exact same size that I won't sell for under $2,000. So it's one of those things where some people, it's weird because the guy buying the brand new pair might be buying it to wear, but he just doesn't want to buy a worn shoe, but he's willing to pay an extra $500 to get it brand new. So it's all depending on how someone feels, but it's an interesting market right now.
Yeah, I feel you. Like I would prefer, to buy some shit that my foot is the first foot.
Of course.
When was the last time you were out and about in the world and you saw somebody with a pair of shoes on and said, "Where'd you get those?"
What's crazy is 7-8 years ago, I would ask anybody that, or I'd be like always complimenting people and everything. It's became so mainstream now with StockX and everything. And the market grew from being in the millions of dollars on the resale side to now it's a multi-billion-dollar market. So if you want to learn how to resell shoes tomorrow, you just go right on StockX. You have all the data in front of you. When we were doing this 10 years ago, we had to compile data from consignment shops and just kind of literally memorize the market. So I'd be in school trying to figure out how to remember everything for this history exam. Meanwhile, I know the prices for every shoe you name and how much it goes for per size. So I'd say it's just changed so much now that I'm not even shocked when I see a lot of stuff, but every now and then I'll see like someone might be wearing an older pair of Nike SBs or something you don't see as often. And that's when I'll ask them like, hey, like, where'd you get those at? Like, you never see those anymore. But if I see someone in like an Off-White collaboration, a Travis Scott, kind of just regular now, it's become mainstream. And there's so many perfect fakes of those shoes.
Ooh.
I don't even try to look at them because it's not my business whether it's fake or real. I don't judge someone at the end of the day. But for me, it's got to be real for me to own it and wear it. It's just part of that pride is when I buy this stuff, I buy it because I like it, but also because it holds its value. It's a safe thing to hold, and it doesn't hold any value if it's fake. So if I see like a pair of Nike SBs or something rare, that's one thing. But a lot of these newer shoes, it's just kind of regular to see them out and about now.
So did StockX help or hurt the business?
I'd say both. A lot of people will say like it sucks or it's great or this and that. At the end of the day, we're in a market that's evolving constantly, and it's just about adjusting to it. If you can adjust to it, you're going to win no matter what. People have been saying for 10 years the sneaker game's dead. There's no more money in it. The market's going to collapse. If the market's going down, all that means is figure out what you need to be buying and selling now. So just constantly adjusting is really what you have to do at the end of the day. And if you can do that, you're going to survive no matter what. But the bubble will never pop. The sneaker market will never just die out. There will always be a resale market because there's always going to be limited pairs that have a lot of demand and people willing to pay for them. And it's just as simple as that.
So this is it. This is all you do. Sneakers.
Yep.
Although, why you call them sneakers, man, in Michigan? They gym shoes.
We've always said sneakers. At the end of the day, I'll take any terminology, whatever. So
as long as the check cashes out.
Yeah, and we like to use just the clear name, like for Michigan Sneaker Exchange. That's kind of just, can't remember why I came up with that name, but I was like, okay, we got to have Michigan. We got to have the factor that you can buy, sell, and trade them, which is the exchange. And They're sneakers. But at the end of the day, our slogan is Michigan's premier sneaker and streetwear trade show. So we're open to sneakers, streetwear, and anything related within it.
And when is the next show coming up?
So the next show is next Saturday, July 20th, 12 to 7 p.m. at Huntington Place. It's going to be a great time. It's gotten bigger and better every year. We're in arguably what I like to say, and a lot of our vendors say, I go to events across the country. We are in the nicest venue. We're in the Grand Ballroom of Huntington Place. That's where all Bedrock and all these big names are throwing their $5 million holiday parties every year. I mean, the room is just amazing. It's a brand new state-of-the-art facility. They got all the cool lights on the ceiling and everything. It really draws in a good crowd for us too, just off how good we make the room look and how open and inviting it is. I mean, when you're in there, when you walk in the room, the whole back is windows, so you're going to see all our banners and branding, but you're looking at the GM Rensen right behind it too.
Yo, so how long does this take for you to put together?
So it's kind of it's 24/7. We're working on it all year. We like to launch the events about 2 months before the date, and then we really drive down the marketing, especially the month of. And then right now we're kind of in the crazy time, which is the 2 weeks before. So this is when we're getting the most vendor demand. This is when we're really securing those special guests, promoting the special guests. Like we kind of figured out when the hype is highest, and we will launch the event a month and a half, 2 months before, but then we go crazy to 2-3 weeks before, because that's when people are going to retain the information and be like, okay, this is 3 weeks away. When we announce the event, they make a mental note, okay, this is 2 months away, whatever. But we're not going to do like post that so-and-so is going to be there, because a month from now, then people don't really care about it.
How did you get involved with Mikey?
So crazy enough, someone he works with, Emily, came to our event maybe a year and a half ago, and I'm always running around crazy everywhere. And she was near the entrance. She was like, hey, do you run this? I was like, yeah. And she's like, she introduced herself and she was like, hey, like, have you ever heard of Mikey Eckstein? And I said, yes. I said, I can't tell you what he does, but he's everywhere and nowhere at the same time, and he knows everybody.
Man.
And she said, listen, I think you guys would be a good fit. You guys should connect. So in the midst of everything going on, I didn't know where I took down her contact. I knew we like followed each other on Instagram, something. Randomly a few weeks ago, somebody liked one of our posts. I went to click their account, accidentally clicked the person below it. It was Emily. I said, wait, this is the person who linked me with Mikey. And I messaged her like, hey, I messaged Mikey a few weeks ago. Any chance you could like reconnect us? I know you wanted to do it when you came to the event. And Mikey basically called me. We got on a call. He came to my office, met with me on 4th of July, and we basically got things going. And I mean, you know how Mikey works. Literally like same day he had called me like, oh yeah. He's like, oh yeah, like send me back 10 questions. Like I'm putting you on this magazine, doing this, and this. So he's right on his stuff. I thought it was a really good fit. A lot of mutual friends that know him told me he's kind of perfect for what we're looking for right now. And I invest a lot in our company. I'm not really worried about turning a profit from it right now. I think if we invest everything in it, it's a product that'll sell for years to come, and it's becoming a staple in Detroit. We do it 3 times a year and counting, and it's just a great time. It's open for everybody. I want everyone to be able to experience the event, and I think he has a lot of names that he's going to bring out that would love the event. They just might not hear about it if not for him.
All right, I want to step on the scene. I want to be the new guy on, coming up under you. Give me 5 pair of shoes to start with. Not outside of Travis Scott.
So Jordan 1s are a must. That's just the iconic shoe. Got to have them. It's the first Jordan. Another one, crazy enough, the Asics have been crazy hot right now.
Really?
So even just the regular pairs are the hottest pairs right now. I mean, they're comfortable, classic, lightweight. You can wear them with anything. Wear them every day. I wear them most days now. Same thing with New Balance. It was New Balance.
I'm not trying to be funny, but Asics was more like the white guy shoe.
Yeah, it was the dad shoe, and that's how New Balance was too. And everybody's in it right now. I mean, I'll just tell you, speaking from experience on seeing what my people sell, what I sell, you got guys like me wearing them. Everybody in the whole hood's buying them. Everybody everywhere, literally from every walk of life, like is buying Asics, because everybody wants what's hot right now, and that just it goes with everything. You don't have to think about like, oh, let me match this $500 Jordan with this T-shirt. Just throw a pair of Asics on. It goes with it. You're going to be comfortable. You're running around all day, and it's the best shoe for that. So I'd say definitely a pair of Asics, New Balances, a Jordan 1. Definitely a pair of Dunks. Nike SBs, Dunks. This is one of the most popular SBs to come out all year, the Futura collab.
Oh,
This is
those
a
are
popular artist out of New
dope.
York.
Okay, yeah. You need to tell me how much those cost, because my granddaughter would love those.
So this is the same thing with the sizes. So I'm a 7.5 to 8. My pair was 250, $300. I got one for retail for 150. And for smaller sizes, probably gonna be around there. Some of the bigger sizes go up to $400 or $500. But even then, this is one of those shoes where everybody's stocking them up because they're gonna go up in price in a year or two from now.
Those are dope, though. I like those.
They're crazy popular.
Yeah, their color scheme is oh wow.
So we got Dunks, New Balance, Asics, Jordan 1s. There's a lot of pairs you could go through from there, whether it's a Jordan 3 like the classics, the white cements. I know they're coming back out with the black cements this year too. This is always a great pair. And then, even though we already talked about it, you think they're uncomfortable. I did that live on the news at one of our events as well. The Air Force Ones. This is the Kith collaboration. So it's a store in New York that's branched out throughout the country over the years. They did so they basically did a friends and family pair, and then this pair released when they opened their Japan store. They did another colorway when they opened their France store, and they did another colorway when they opened their Hawaii store. So I just liked them. They kind of got the Kith imprints, hard to see along the whole side. Small swoosh, which is always a nice detail. They've got the Kith lace lock, Kith on the tongue too, Kith air on the back, and then I just like the aged kind of sole look. Like it's just nicer to wear.
So
You're
that's
not gonna mess them
intentional.
off or anything. Yes, and then it's almost like a velvet inside too, which is also hard to see on the camera. But these are awesome pairs. One of my favorite pairs to wear out.
Yeah, I've never seen them with the little swoosh like that. And
Yeah,
then,
that was one of the more exclusive collabs, and you
almost
really
like
won't
the
see them around.
embroidery on the side of the shoe. I don't know if that's the right word, but that's what it looks like.
Yeah, that's what they do with the swoosh too. They like embroider the swoosh on the toe box too.
Ugliest pair of shoes.
People are gonna hate me for this one, but the Chunky Dunky SBs, the Ben and Jerry's pair, the thing with Nike SB is they do a lot of cool collabs. They do a lot of cool pairs that are fun to look at, but in terms of wearing them, they're atrocious. The inside's tie-dye. They've got like cow print on them. They're blue and all these colors. It's just not a pair made to wear. And to me, it wasn't even like Nike SB makes a lot where I'll look at them like an art piece, like the Nike SB What the Dunk. So if you look those up when we get off here, you'll see how crazy they are and why I say it's an art piece. It's iconic. It's part of the history of Nike SB. But the Ben and Jerry's just weren't it for me, and everybody loved them. And I pass on so many pairs that are my size all the time. It's just not a shoe for me.
Vans or DC?
I grew up skateboarding. I'd say DC, but there's a lot of cool Vans collaborations too. I personally won't wear either of them nowadays.
Damn, why not?
I've got respect for both. They're just not really what I wear nowadays. Kind of the DCs are a fatter shoe, and the Vans just never look good on me. But I do have a pair of the artist Cause collaborated with DC in like I think 2000. I don't have them here with me; they're in my storage. But I have a pair, very rare shoe he did that a lot of people don't know existed. It was a collaboration with DC.
How many pair do you personally own?
So I sell a lot. When I don't wear everything, there's no way to wear everything. And if anybody has over 50 pairs and tells you they're wearing everything, they're lying. So I sell a lot when I get sick of them or don't need them or don't wear them. But I am right around 150 right now. So I'm getting to that point where I need to get rid of probably 30, 40 pairs.
So you have a lady?
Yeah.
Does she get it, or is she tolerating it because it's a business?
Oh, she gets it. She understands all of it. She loves it. She thinks it's cool. She's hands-on helping with all the events, running our merch stand, like anything she can do to help. And then of course I make sure she gets some pairs too.
Yeah, I bet that helps.
That's the important part.
What type of merch? Like okay, so I'm looking for I told you I got the 218s.
Yep.
I got a little actually that's why I bought both pair of Jordans. I got a little event that I'm going to on the 20th. But I bought a couple of t-shirts that match perfectly. Hats. But I haven't quite found like the perfect this is not too old, nigga, but it's not too I'm trying to be young.
Yeah.
Where can I get the perfect merch for the unique gym shoes?
So there's a lot of like stores around here you can go to. I always tell people, and this isn't even me plugging the event, but the event is the best place off the fact that you have 150 vendors there. You have over 80 to 100 shoe vendors. Then you've got at least 25 local clothing brands. You've got at least 5 guys selling vintage clothing, like a lot of tees you might remember from your childhood that are super popular and in right now, like old Pistons tees, all that kind of stuff. Like I love wearing a 1980s, 1990s Pistons tee because you're never going to run into someone wearing the same item, and it just iconic. It's a conversation piece. I could run into you wearing a shirt from 20 years ago, and you're like, hey, I remember when that shirt came out. So it's one of those things where I feel like it's just all about finding something that you're not going to run into someone else wearing. And especially with the local clothing brands, there's so many guys doing so many crazy things with their brand right now, and they don't always get the exposure they deserve. And for example, last time Babyface Ray was walking through, and this one brand, I believe they were called Verted. So shout out to Verted. They were vending at our event. It was their first time vending. Babyface Ray loved like their brand slogan and one of their shirts, bought it. He went on tour overseas the next day. He was wearing it in like 5 pictures on tour. So for them, it was dope because they got all that exposure and they weren't even trying to. They just put out a dope design. So I definitely say come to the event, check it out. We're starting to develop our merch more. So I'm actually wearing our hoodie right now. That's one of our logos. I've got our hat on. We always do logo-based stuff because at the end of the day, to me, whether people buy it, whether I hand a bunch of it out, it's a business card. If you're wearing my logo, whatever, you're repping me, you're promoting me. So over time, we've just been trying to get the logo on more and more people. But we do have a character lineup which is all over our Instagram. We have a illustrator, Law Stout. So shout out to Law. He's local. He is beyond talented, and he draws 4 or 5 characters each time, which are on our event flyer. And we've never really done merch with them that kind of has like other than just dropping them on a t-shirt, which no one really cares about. So this time we kind of did plays off vintage tees. I took a vintage Tigers tee, and we had a Tigers mascot character that's decked out in like a pair of Jordan 4 Carhartt M&Ms and all this stuff that Law drew. So we basically made like a vintage Tiger style tee. And then we've got a skateboarding character. Everybody remembers the old Simpsons Bart skateboarding tees.
Oh, yeah.
So we did like a play off a Simpsons tee for that. So this time we're really developing the merch more where we have the logo based stuff. But each event we're going to have 1 to 2 very exclusive designs. We only did 35 of each shirt, and they'll be available at the merch stand when you walk in. The only way to get them is at the event. And once they're gone, they're gone. We'll never make them again.
Yo, I need some shit like that.
Yeah, we'll hook you up with a pack too. We'll get some stuff for your size.
I like the hat too. What colors you got?
So we do this one. Our logo is usually blue outline. We did a couple red ones just because wanted to switch it up a little bit. So we do these ones. Here's the blue one. Here's one. We'll stack them. So we got the blue one. This is our other logo, which Law also drew, our illustrator. This kind of just represents the event for what it is. So it's a mashup of all the different shoe boxes, and it's basically one guy handing over cash, one guy handing over shoes. That describes the event the best way possible. This was one of the hats we did for our winter event. We got the patch on the side with like the ice sculpture of our logo. And then these were like our characters. So this is a couple of them. So this is one of the original ones we did.
Oh, that's dope.
And then each time we switch them up. So we'll have them carrying like recent shoes that came out, all that. Like they'll be dragging like this guy's was for our winter event. So he was going down a ski slope in Campus Martius was the flyer, and he was dropping all his shoes and money. So we try to just make it cool and just kind of like create the brand outside of like, cool, we have this flyer. Every sneaker event across the country has characters on a flyer right now, but nobody's branching out and making that its own brand. So that's the goal is we're going to end up making collectible figures out of these characters. We had a 5-foot statue made out of this character. Which,
wait a minute, is that the picture I got?
Yes, the one of me standing next to it. Yeah.
Yo.
So we had it 3D printed here from China, and then we had a local artist hand paint it. Sadly, I would show you, it would be in my room right now, but it got knocked over at one of our events, so it got broken. It's in my basement in about 20 pieces right now, but insurance covered it, thankfully. So we're gonna get a new one made. That was like our test run. it didn't stand up perfectly, so it was leaning against the table. And of course,
Oh
8
my
a.m.
God.
Our contractor moves the table over and it breaks, and everybody felt bad. But I mean, that's what we had insurance for. So we were covered. We're gonna come bigger and better and get a new one made soon. But we really want to develop it here. Actually, keep forgetting everything's around me. So we made this line. So this is our first one. It was our test run. One of my friends made them. So we 3D printed the figure. We made the packaging. And then on the packaging, we've got all the different colorways we'll release. Just literally like a collectible figure you'd buy out of a
Yo,
Target.
how much are
Or
those?
so we never actually sold them. We did 10 of them. We gave them away. We did 10 silver, 10 gold. But we're going to start developing them soon. The goal is to kind of do all the characters and just we're just trying to figure out what we want to do to build hype around it and make people want to collect them.
So at this point, does it make sense to get people that are like let's say Babyface Ray or Babyface who just or Icewear Vezo or whomever to be like your brand ambassador exclusively?
I would say yes and no financially. These guys are, I mean, taking off over the past few years and they're going so national that I personally couldn't afford to have them do that, but I would love if they did. But it's one of those things where, for example, we had Babyface come last time. Everything is content based in this world right now. Everything is Instagram based.
Yeah.
Our goal at the end of the day was let's get Babyface in there. Let's show these people that we're not a small event just because we only do Michigan. We get the big names in here. These big names are coming here to shop with us before we invite them and pay them to do it. But at the end of the day, when we have celebrities, it's one to show love to the community and shop around, enjoy the event, but two, it's for the content. We want the Instagram content. We got over 3 million views from all the Babyface Ray content, and that alone, I think, would almost bypass any brand ambassador or anything. Because once Babyface Ray is shouting us out once a week on Instagram, after 10 weeks, people are like, okay, he's still posting this shit.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where we saw the maximum benefit is let's just get these guys in here. Let's walk in with them, and for 20 minutes, let's go table to table, ask them about shoes, clothes, what they're rocking with, what their most expensive shoe is, what they do with their shoes when they're on tour, like all this kind of stuff. And like, it just kind of shows that personable side of them too.
Yeah.
And for example, with Ray, and what we always try to do is we want them to look good. Ray looked amazing from the content that we put out. So as much as he benefited us, we feel like we were at least able to give him some benefit because everybody goes on their Instagram, looks, and they go, Babyface Ray was at the event, but he was buying stuff off people. He was showing love. He took pictures with everybody. There was a kid with his mom who had a Babyface Ray hoodie on, and the video went viral because Face saw it and he was taking videos of it. He put the kid on his Instagram story. He's got 1 million followers. And then literally they went to take a picture and Face took his chain off and was like, no, you got to be wearing my chain if you got my hoodie on.
That's
so
dope.
The kid got to take a picture in like a $50,000 Wavy Gang chain. So it's one of those things where Face looked great from the content, but also like that kid has a memory forever. Like you could see that kid's face light up when Face was like, no, you got to take a picture with the chain on.
Yo.
And the kid's mom is like reposting everything we post. So it's one of those things where we didn't even try it, but we made a customer for life and they just had such a good time there. It's like, for us, it's a sneaker and streetwear trade show. We want everyone to come out to make money, but for someone like them, they just made a crazy memory they'll never forget about.
Yo, I know Rio the Young OG should be getting out soon.
Yep. So he had shopped with me I think in the pandemic he had came and shopped with me a few times. All the rappers were buying up everything they could. So they came and shopped with me, and we got him laced up in some stuff. But when he gets out, he's definitely on our list to get. We want to get everybody in there. It's really just about two. This is going to be the first time having two special guests there. We might not do two again. I just figured Payroll and Baby Money are such a good fit to have both of them because they're so different. Payroll has been around for so long. Baby Money is so on fire right now. I figured it would be great content for both of them, but I'm trying not to use everyone too quick because we need everybody for years to come. But Icewear Vezo, Jack Funny, Haha Davis, obviously Rio. We got so many guys on our list. Peasy, little everybody. We're gonna have them all come through over time, and we just want everyone to see the event. And a lot of these guys want to shop there anyways. Baby Money shopped at multiple events, so I was on FaceTime with him earlier confirming the details. He's like, "Oh yeah, I already come through and shop." Like We'll be there. We'll log in. We'll do 20 minutes of questions. We're gonna be there shopping.
Do y'all have like a celebrity version?
Like an event only for the celebrities?
Yeah.
No, and I'll tell you why is when you come to our event, it doesn't matter how much money you have in your pocket, it doesn't matter where you come from. You can come from $1 million mansion, you can come from a trailer park, you're treated the same. So we don't do any of that ego stuff. Like obviously these celebrities built their names and they can act however they want, but for me, it's all about taking care of the little guys too. We give people a place to come make money, a safe environment to do transactions. I've had guys come up to me and say, "Yo, thank you. You give us a place to come make money, and we did time for making bad decisions in our past life, and we know that we don't have to go back to those type of ways because we can come here and make money, and everything's legitimate here." So it's like we created a safe environment for everyone to enjoy. It doesn't matter who you are. So I'd love to do something exclusive to the celebrities. I'm not going to say we're not going to in the future, but we're going to loop in some of those regular vendors and stuff too, because at the end of the day, that's who makes the event. The random guy from the middle of outside of Lansing, Michigan, is bringing to the event the same guy that the millionaire from Bloomfield Hills is. So it's open to everybody. Everybody can enjoy it, and it's built for everybody. No one's better than anyone in the event, and people reach out every time and say, "I'm trying to start reselling. I'm trying to get into shoes. What do I do? I don't want to come to this event," and people are laughing at me. And I'm like, "Hey, come to the event. You don't have to know anything about anything. Just talk to some of the vendors. One or two vendors might be rude to you if they're having a bad day or they don't want to talk, but for the most part, a lot of them will sit and take the time to help you out and really get you started in this. And just being in that room, you're going to learn so much."
Yo, if people want to get in contact with you, how they go about doing that?
So you can go on our Instagram at Michigan Sneaker Exchange. You can go on our website, www.michigansneakerexchange.com, submit a contact form, email us through there. Really, if you look up Michigan Sneaker Exchange, you'll find our social media pages. We're very responsive. We always get back to everybody same day. Now you can hit up Mikey too. Mikey will get anything done. And I wanted to plug Mikey real quick too. He will be at the event, and they're going to be doing some ticket raffles for a bunch of different shows they've got. So I know they've got August 11th, Conway the Machine at the Shelter. August 17th, Action Bronson. Yup, Action Bronson at the Crowfoot. They've got August 20th, OGZ at the Shelter. August 23rd, BFB to Pac-Man at the Shelter, who, if anybody's ever met BFB, you know he is one of the funniest humans you'll ever meet. August 31st, Black Women Rock the Fillmore. August 31st, also T.I. and Dougie Fresh at the Aretha. And then October 1st, Rhapsody at the Shelter. So he'll be doing some tickets to raffle off, I think, at our event. And then, of course, we follow him on social media. As anyone knows Mikey, he's always showing love to the people. He's doing some sort of giveaway at least once a week. We got ticket giveaways with him right now, too. So I wanted to make sure I plug him on all that. But he will be at the event, too. He'll be there all day. If anyone's got a brand, anything you wanna get him involved with, he's a good person to work with.
I need tickets, Mikey. Where are you, bro? I need
Yeah,
tickets.
you know, we got to get hooked up first too.
Yo, man, this has been dope, man. I definitely appreciate your time and your energy, man. This has been a really. Don't forget about those shoes, though, too. Actually, those and the dunks.
I got you. I'm gonna have to get you all five you named. You said it were like the starter pairs you gotta have. I think that was you telling me I gotta get you all those.
No, you know what? I'll take the ones right behind the black, yellow and green ones. Oh,
These
for
ones?
me, yeah, those for me. Oh,
I'm gonna find you a pair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find you a pair. You got my number, so text me when we get off here. Remind me. I'm gonna find you a pair.
Okay,
I actually
got you.
just recently, my buddy's store up the street got an 8.5 for somebody, so they're out there. I'll make sure I find them.
Yeah, those are fucking cold. Man,
Yeah,
anyway,
no,
man,
awesome.
yeah, yo, don't forget, yeah, we gotta say LinkedIn, man. This was definitely, it was an honor. I definitely appreciate your time, your energy, and your wisdom, and you stopping by and give us a little bit of game on the shoe business. Any last impression, last words? You got anything you want to say? You want to throw out there?
Everyone, make sure to pull up July 20th, Huntington Place, the former Cobo Center. We're in the Grand Ballroom, 12 to 7 p.m. It's gonna be a great time. Doesn't matter if you're into shoes, seasoned vet, whatever you are. If you have any interest in sneakers or streetwear, it's an amazing time. Even if you don't, it's such a fun event. I call it the auto show of sneakers. You don't go to
That's dope.
Even if you aren't a huge car fan, you're going to go to the auto show because it's the auto show. So we do it 3 times a year. Summer's the biggest event every time. There's a million things happening in downtown Detroit. Come pull up to the event, stop by everywhere. And thank you for having me on. I don't do many podcasts, many shows, anything. Mikey's getting me to do a bunch, but that's why I like to come right. I'll talk a little extra when I do them, but I'll give you all the info you want, and I appreciate you having me on.
Oh man, it's an honor, man. On that note, but and I'm not sure if there's anything I can ever possibly do for you, but if there is, let me know and I got you.
Definitely. Shit, this was more than enough. I appreciate it.
Oh, no doubt, man. You're welcome back anytime. On that note, man, you have a great one, man. Shout out to you and your family, man. Much love.
You too, man. Have a good one, bro.
All right, peace. Yo, that was fucking dope, man. That was just that was just really dope. And especially my family when they see this, because they know I've loved gym shoes my whole fucking life. The craziest part, when Top 10s first came out, I go to Northland Mall with my mom's to get me a pair. And these were like $75 shoes. At the time, it was fucking outlandish. So we go there, and we go to every store in Northland. And I could not get a pair because my feet were too fucking small at the time. I literally cried like a bitch in Foot Locker in Northland because I couldn't get it my first pair of Top 10s. And she bought me these other Adidas with the tongue was like, oh my God, it was like that big. Oh, it was embarrassing to go to school with those ugly ass shoes on. Anyway, shout out to Jake. Tomorrow we got Alice King at 5 o'clock and Tiffany Rose at 7 o'clock. The ladies will be representing. You already know this is Jobs. This has been another episode of Intellectually Petty Radio. Shout out to you, Mikey, man, for plugging me in. We out. Y'all have a good one. Peace.